Alright, so since the stream ain't working, I'm just going to just strip record this. Alright.
The stream isn't working? I see it working.
I got the recording working right now.
Okay.
So just give us a moment. Alright. So settings.
You all would be great to transition this into, but I don't think I don't think you have it actually.
Yeah. Well, right now Alright, well, right now I'm actually gonna be recording this. So let me just make sure everything's all good. So, alright then, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be class 3 of the Wildfire classes. Today we'll be making the knee smash, which is actually a pretty common move. Slam, knee slam, same thing. The way he does it is
it's not two different completely moves.
Anyway, it's 2 different completely. We're making the knee slam today, but we're gonna be doing with this is the first time that people are gonna be making ground moves. Ground moves are actually a little bit harder to make due to the fact that the height difference is not gonna be there. So as you see in Poser, we already have the start. However, due to Second Life's nature, when the person is already on the floor, if the person is taller than a certain height or lower than a certain height, that person is either going to sink to the floor or hovering. You'll see that all the time. And there's not a set way to fix that unless, well, you use something else. I have given a file that already has everything that you need for this particular animation. I have made some mistakes in there, so what you first want to do is with the victim, you go want to make sure that the inverse connects, the IKs, are all off. So all of them are not checked. That'll be the first thing you go want to do. So I'll give people time to do that. Second thing, make sure that the actual attacker, that his stuff is all set as well. And also note that I've already put in the spline breaks in every single one of the frames for the very start. As you know in the other classes, that if you don't have the spline breaks, your avatar will just go nuts in certain aspects. And just a minute, I do have a message from my boss real fast.
I have a message. What are you talking about?
Let's go. Alright, back to it. So now let's just get on to animating. So first thing you want to do, you already know that you have to actually grab the knee. So that is actually going to be the frame that we're going to do. I'm going to move on to frame 10 since I want it to be a little bit more slower so you see the entire animation flow. So the first frame that you're actually going to animate will be on frame 10. And that's where the person's knee is actually grabbed. So I'll start working on the victim. I'm going to turn on the IKs for his left, right, and his right leg. because the avatar is closer to the left side. So for that, I'm just going to lift him just a little bit. Also, tilt his head up as if he's worried about what the hell is about to happen. And you can hear the dog barking in my background because he tends to be a little shit. Anyway, about dogs. So I'll just start animating this real fast. By the way, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Or if you just want to watch it, just follow along and see the work. Bless you. Also, as for the knee, I'm going to make sure that if you see the leg is actually going to be a little bit over the 90 degree, because 90 degrees is just like you sit on your chair. I'm going to put it just a little bit more, like 110, so that way you can actually see the point of the knee going down. I'm going to have that as my setup. I'm also going to spread the feet just a little bit more. So that way it's not too bad. And now, going back into my reference, actually get the grab going. Is someone sleeping? Or is someone actually drinking something? Alright then. Going back into this. Now I'm going to animate the actual attacker. By the way, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to stop me. Should do a little bit like that right now. Now just a little bit more. And actually, tilt a little bit to the left. Doesn't have to be perfect for the grab because, well, it's second life. Just has to be close enough. Alright then. Oh, forgot about that. That's why you turn off the animations for the camera. Otherwise it'll go crazy. That looks like a very slow grab, so I'm actually going to... Actually, it's a little bit fast, so I'm going to move up to 15, and in the middle of that, I'm actually going to make sure that the attacker is a little bit down. So that way it looks like that he's actually going down to grab.
You heard me? Huh? If they got the big ones?
Alright.
Yeah.
And once you guys have that, let me know so I can move on to the next thing. Or unless everybody's just watching.
You good?
Alright. Anyone else, or everybody else is just watching?
Good.
Alright, so I'll be moving on to the next frame. Next frame is actually going to be sideways. As you see, the attacker is now at a 90-degree looking to the right. So exactly where the leg is, just to get more of the oomph. So that is exactly where I'm going to be heading. I'm gonna work on the feet movement afterwards, so that way it doesn't look too crazy. So I'm gonna do that on frame 35. That's where I'm going to do the entire stop. So get to 90, turn the roll off, turn the pitch down. Actually, the roll will be a little bit more. Just should be on over to that side.
Shimmy, shimmy, shanga.
And also, if you look, he's pretty damn equal with his body, so we're going to attempt to do the same thing. So we are going to just try to mimic that bit. It's good if you want to bring it down a bit also. So go ahead and do that. Post symmetry will be your best friend doing this, so you'll do that to the left. This is like desperate. No, it's not. Okay. So let's do it like there. That post symmetry to the right leg. That looks a little bit better, maybe a little bit too much. There we go. Now for the go bend just a little bit, but not too much, because you can see his head is pretty damn close to the foot also. So go keep the shoulder at a good pace, but I'm going to probably just redo the arm a bit. You can do this. You can do this only so many times before people start noticing, hey, the arm looks off. Like that, and don't mess with the jiggle a bit. You can only do it too much, but your arm doesn't really jiggle.
What?
Yeah, your arm doesn't really jiggle. Alright, both hands are clasping just below the knee, by the way. As you can see here, the opponent is actually back flat, but his leg is actually still hooked. So we're just going to just try to simulate that while at the same time making sure that the foot is not entirely in the opponent's face. So right about there. Can't really tell by the side, but I think it's actually more outward. I like to think. Right, left. Right there. Alright, so I'll key that and key that. So now what I'm going to work on now is the feet, because you don't want the opponent just sliding everywhere. I like to do a two-step movement, which is for this I'll actually turn on the left and right IKs. So for the left foot, I'm going to go to my finished product, take where the left foot is for that, and just put that, since that's the first one to actually go, I'm going to put that at frame 25.
Big ones. Okay.
I think we need about what?
And for the right foot,
We need about 3 packs.
it's going to stay until frame 25.
Take my box. Oh,
Well,
take my
not
pack.
to frame 25, maybe a little bit sooner. We don't want it to look bow-legged for a little bit. And in the middle of that, all I'm going to do is just lift the foot. Just slightly. Maybe lift up the avatar also, which is actually what I'm going to do right now. So when you lift up the foot, you also lift up yourself. Also spread out the arms a bit, so that way he's still having the leg. You could only do it too much, it's not going to be that much of an issue. And as for the right foot, I'm going to make it a linear section so you don't see it, the right foot going much. And over here I'll also lift it just a bit and turn it. So that way you can actually see he's stepping to the side and not sliding to the side. So now, step 1 is done. Now from there, I'm going to toggle spine break because now I'm going to start the next step, which is actually lift off. So it's very easy for the attacker. For the victim, it's gonna be a bit. I'm actually going to keep the hand IKs on for the victim, but both legs are gonna be off. So like I said, stay again for the victim. His hand IKs are gonna be on, because that way when I do lift him up, his hands will still stay relatively in place.
Go back to the video real fast.
Okay.
Play it.
You see where the victim's hands is right now?
No, I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at something else. Play it.
What?
Play a video.
What are you looking
Okay.
at?
I'll tell you as you're animating. Just go.
Okay. Now you're talking about when he's like that.
You might have to make 2 variations of this.
I probably will. I think someone's getting a lot of messages right now. But nonetheless,
That's me. Sorry.
it's all good. But yeah, right now, since I have the IKs for the attacker now, he's going to be the first one that will go animate. So I'm going to give him about 15 frames of animations because I want this lift to take a while. So he's going to stand up. His roll, since he's sideways, is actually going to go back to 0. He's going to move right, since he's sideways a bit in. And his bend is going to go back left a bit. His head I'm going to lift up also. Just enough.
Yeah, you at some point you're gonna have to make this for a person like Lyra.
Yeah,
like when Lyra's on the ground being on the attack side of things.
Mhm.
There's no way a smaller person would be able to lift you up that way.
I'll do a smaller one. I'm just using that as just an example to make one.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that for a person like me, Jeff, Michael Carson,
Mhm.
doing something like this on, let's say Tremor, for instance.
Or
Yeah.
Benjo or Hammer.
Yeah.
Or Banjo.
Yeah, you're gonna
Well, no,
need...
Hammer's still possible. Or Kieran is a little bit thicker. We wouldn't necessarily be able to lift them off the ground, but we could slam them. Like I'm saying, like their body wouldn't pop.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's still possible to do it to them.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, this one I'm just doing the big one at first, and then I'll be able to flow to the other ones. So this one, now I'm animating the victim. His back is gonna be kind of like his back is actually straight. As you can see, his hands are out like what we were saying before. I'm actually gonna move him front a bit, and also put him at, I think 135 would be the best angle. Actually, wait a second. Let me do this. I'm just going to just bend the waist a bit.
I would almost arch up a little bit, the back part.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Playing around just a bit to see what will work. Because at the same time, I also have to look at... I might have to. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. He's actually good. Since his foot's getting up, he's actually getting dragged. Like his leg will actually drag him up. So I'm gonna keep that pointed. But the other leg is actually gonna be pretty down because that's not the one getting dragged up. However, he is getting lifted, so there has to be some form of gravity going on.
Yeah, naturally the other leg is gonna be lifted up
Mm.
as you pull the other leg up.
Yep. So let me see how that looks right now. It looks so.
It's pretty good actually.
Yeah. It's a little bit slow on my taste because it looks like that there's not much going on, but at the same time, there has to be something going on. So let me see what is actually going on. Ah, I see exactly what happened. Right there, just as the lift is going. So here's what I'm going to do. Alright, so that's figure 1. Gonna go to figure, it's gonna go to there. And I'm actually going to put left, right, and the right leg IKs on. And I'm going to do the lift. While also making sure the leg stay intact also. And actually, since we're getting lifted, I'm actually going to pull that in. Never. Okay, here's the thing about IKs. Whenever you move a bipart in IKs, when you go and turn off, you have to double check to make sure it doesn't mess up, because it will. So now, luckily it didn't mess up there, so I'm from free. But I'm going to turn off the spline brake, see what happens. I think that needs to be just a little bit faster, because I want to do a final one, which is him being way high. Now, like I said, this is going to be the one that's over exaggerated. I'll make the regular one afterwards and show the difference. It ain't going to be too many frames either. Actually, it's probably going to be half the frames of the over exaggerated one. So see, his arms are very high. So it's not going to be much, but I'm going to put the shoulders up. I'm going to put the arm a little bit up also. Yeah, I know.
This is doing a marine salute.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, it's... oh. Alright, so put that back at
Salute the
1.
motherfucker.
And then you're picking the hammer up to what the fuck? Or is he John Cena all of a sudden?
This is how it is with animating, man. Gotta have fun sometimes.
What the fuck is in a pyramid now?
Yeah, I know. You have to do a lot to make sure that the animation actually looks good. That requires making pyramids and such. Alright, now that I got the attacker somewhat in position, I'm not going to say that he's actually in a good position. So now, this guy is actually going to be fully lifted. And I'm actually going to start taking that out, so it gives like more of an impact. So like that. It's not much to do, but at the same time, it's something. We're also going to give him much more expression. So we'll go back to the arms. Actually go to move it up a bit. Same way with the right side.
Motherfucker.
What's up?
Pete Dunne stuck in the UK.
Ooh.
I just caught that on the WWE preview for NXT.
Was there a Raw last night?
Yeah, Matt Riddle and a mystery partner defend NXT titles against Undisputed Era. Isaac, Roderick Strong, and Bobby Fish.
Why not? Maybe. I don't know, dude.
Yo, fuck this coronavirus.
Has Adam Cole lost the title already?
No, I think they're building up to that.
You know they spoiled that, right?
Thank you for telling me that on the stream, bro.
Oh.
Anyway, as I'm trying to teach a class here.
My name's Jeff.
I so hate
Don't
you guys. Alright, so now I think I have him back at a relatively easy position. So now at this point, there's only one thing to do, and that is to make him full. I know it took me 1, 2, 3 keyframes to get him fully lifted. Now at the very top, because I'm actually going to lower that a bit because it looks like he's just floating up. Let me just lower that just a bit. And
Actually, the arm placing's pretty cool. I would just do it that way.
Sorry that your uniform.
I see what's going on. Alright, figure 1. Sometimes you don't need the hip to move. Or maybe sometimes you do. Why did that not work?
That's John Madden for you.
I see what's going on. Okay, this one has to get deleted because it's messed up with the flow.
Kira, how many Wildfire winners have you gotten?
Alright, this is pretty much how you go, how everybody pretty much animates. So it's really going to take a couple of times to get one move looking right. Alright, so that one looks much more of a flow.
Almost stepped on you, Matt. I told you not to stand behind me like that. You're dangerous, honey.
Alright, let's go with that. Actually going to take off the spline brakes. And now, I don't like the way he let go well before that. At the same time, it makes sense. So he lets go. So for the hit, for actually the final coming down to knee, here's what I'm going to do. The attacker's knees, I'm actually going to make sure that the point is actually coming down. And this guy, he's not even going to move back and forth. He's just going to go just...
You look like you're about to eat shit.
Well, his knee is about to, because I'm going to do this for the knee.
This is the PG stream, Jeff.
No, it's
Then
not.
why are you here?
This is not PG at all.
Why you gotta blow my cover that way, man? Fuck.
It's my stream, bro.
You gotta fix his right foot.
His right foot.
It's in the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
There we go. Face down, ass up. Okay.
Yep. Wasn't me.
I know it's you. Anyway,
That's my only one.
anyway, the attack.
That's the way we like to fuck.
Anyway, with the attacker, he's gonna go back to kind of like a prone position, but his reaction afterwards is gonna be pretty epic. So, because he knows that he's good,
Calm down.
but his knee is gonna be pretty damn freeborn.
Mr. Falcon, may I suggest something for the ending of this?
Sure.
You remember how you made the cutter have two versions, one that's face down and one where they bounce and land on their back?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should do that with this. Like have them selling face down, holding their leg, and one that makes them bounce somewhat onto their back, holding their leg. Selling.
Okay, yeah, I could do two cells.
It could make a variety of different ways of transitioning to the next part.
Okay. Now, for the actual, now is where I'm gonna do the attacker. Now you can see the leg is still getting held until just a little bit. So I'm gonna attempt to mimic that right here. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
So for this, I'm actually gonna move the avatar back, but Grace is gonna be going forward.
Thank you.
It's the onions. It's gonna be looking down. And symmetry, left arm, right arm. Actually, go turn it left also just a bit. And I'm gonna go to. I know I said not to mess with jiggle bit, but this one I'm gonna mess with jiggle bit. Just because
That's what the what?
the jiggle. Your forearm. Your forearm goes in a certain way, but it doesn't go in a certain placement too much.
Okay.
Alright,
Gotcha.
so with that. Ah, I see. Like I said, I have to go back to make sure that the animation stays straight. This goes for the arms also. So that about place. With a move like this, you're always going to be adjusting everything, especially if it has something to do with arm movement. So at that point, it's like it's a free fall almost. He just splits his arms and just lets go. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right here. And I'm also going to bend down a bit, move the roll, move him a bit forward a bit, and just slightly adjust his shoulder blade. So that way it's rolling a bit forward, but it's also back. The rotates could be forward, but his rolls could be back. And now I'm going to fix the hands, because hands already did their job. So symmetry, right arm to left arm. Let's see how this is looking so far. It's a little bit too fast for my taste, at least for the attacker, but then again, makes sense for how fast the leg's coming down. So right here, this is where I'm going to start the actual cell for the opponent. But as for the attacker's just going to be chill. He's actually going to move back a bit, rotate back, move up a bit, and his arm is actually going to be way out here instead to kind of put more expression onto how hard he slams the leg. It's not going to be pretty. I will tell you that right now. But it'll make sense. Now I'm going to finish off this animation by having him go back to his regular position.
Falcon,
Yes.
after this, do you mind if I pull you into a private call to ask you something?
Not the moment.
No, after this.
After this, yeah. Okay, I don't like that. Alright, do that. What is going on here? No. Oh, that got moved, that's why. Okay. That looks better, actually. Now, here's the reason why the slide will work here. This is going to be the end frame. And in SL, when you go back to your end frame, you tend to just let the animation feather a bit. So frames 70 to 80 technically are not going to exist when it's uploaded. Because it's going to ease its way into noob stance. But now, let me do the attack. Let me do the cell for this. And I'm going to make this person bounce. Like for this one, he didn't really bounce. Instead, it looks like that he really just got crushed. This one, I'm going to make the person bounce. So right about here, it's not going to be too much of a bounce. I'm actually going to start saying how bad he got hurt right about here. We'll start twisting the body a bit to the left side. By the way, if you have any more questions, like, just let me know as I'm going through this.
You know the funny thing is, the medication that you're taking is for my all-around pain, joint pains and levels all that. But it doesn't
So right
give you
here,
back pain.
I didn't even think about it like that. You're right. You always complain about your back still.
I'm actually gonna move the leg up so that you can actually see how bad it got hurt. So,
That's
That
great.
procedure I had,
Go move a little bit closer.
for a little while, then they started acting up again.
and now here's where I could either do what you said, Jeff, before, either flip onto to his back, holding the knee, or just leave him face down, holding his knee.
Yep.
Those are nice looking balloons. Sorry.
And I might do that also, like him like looking back up at his boy, like how could you and stuff like that. So at this point, I'm actually going to do
I'm watching you, nigga.
just a little bit sideways. Move on down. Move a little bit more to the left, but go tilt to the right. So now at this point, he's actually going to be actually in pain. Alright. His arm is good to try to immediately clutch his leg at that point. Now let me fix that up a bit. Actually, this one's going to be the face down one, so.
All that rice didn't fit in one pot, right?
Nope.
So it's going to be right there, where the cell began.
That made no sense. But it kind of did.
And actually, I'm actually going to do this with the leg. But to let it go a bit, so that way it looks like it got hurt even more. Actually, that's too much. That's too much. Just enough would be good enough. Because his first instinct is going to be trying to grasp his leg. And it's a very slow cell also, so it's not like he's going to actually move much. Here's the problem which I'm going to have is actually repeating the cell. Now I have to go back to probably frame, yeah, frame 120. Will probably just be enough just to hold his leg in place. He's going to be in pain, but it's going to be more of the actual selling than anything. Or if anything, people can actually use the cell HUD to actually, you know, sell.
I just got some num-nums for you. And for Mackie Mac. Mackie Mac, mommy got num-nums for you.
Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. Since I don't need the hips anymore, hips, I'll turn on the spine break, but everything, nope. That wasn't good.
Num-nums for you, mama. Yes, I do. I got num-nums for mamas.
What?
What's up?
WWE just went on a chopping spree.
Yeah, they're firing everybody.
Drake Maverick, Bert Hawkins, Carl Anderson, EC3, and Leo Rush so far.
Holy hell. Jesus Christ.
So somehow Bert Hawkins gets fired twice and Zack Ryder hasn't got fired once. Just gonna let you think about that one.
Jesus. This cell is gonna be a pain. It's not gonna be as elaborate as my regular cells because it's hard to put that much. It's hard to put that much emphasis on the pain. Now, if I wanted to, I could do it like that, but that's the standard version. me actually slow things up. I'm going to show you a neat trick. Retime animation. This is how I could extend my animations. So the source is going to be 75 to 105. So I'm going to switch to that to about 75 to about 150. See how that does it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You may actually get the left foot and right foot. There we go. That one has more emphasis. But I'm going to slow it up even more. So what you see me doing right now is making the millions of keyframes that you normally see after you export an animation. I'm going to retime it this way. 75 to 105, it will now be 75 to 150. So now, that's much better for a cell. Alright then, so this is going to be the first whole animation for the heavy one. And actually, I don't like the way that he immediately go back over there that fast. Go bring that to about 90. So what do you guys think about the animation? Yay, nay?
I like it. I want to see how you do the bounce when they're on their back.
Yeah.
This one's good so far. Except for the right leg is just slightly into the ground at the end.
Yeah.
If you look where the knee and the foot is.
Yeah, that usually happens with all the animations. But at the same time, that's the best I could do right now because that's actually straight. In person movement. In the ring, you won't see much because you float over the ring up even a little bit. But yeah. So for
But I want to
this,
see how you do with the when they bounce off the ground.
yep. So knee slam. So now I'm just going to export this one as a, let's see, knee slam. What should I call this? Big knee slam face down. And not
It
only
only took you most of this to realize it's a slam and not a smash. So people know what the difference is. You know when Triple H runs at you, grabs your head, and slams it face down on your knee? That's the knee smash.
Alright, and this will be the big knee slam. It's not. This one's not gonna have a face down, face down, since the actual attacker is still going to sell the same. So big knee slam X. So go back to 200.
What about the labels?
This one was actually going to flip line to his back. So Could you just, well, flip him onto his back real fast, see what magic I can do with that. That's the shoulder. Gonna move the knee a bit. And I need to fix that because the chest hasn't been that much. Let's see how this looks like. That's a nice turn, actually.
Wow. Really?
You're almost there.
Yep. Thing that's gonna happen is, like, I know it's the arm. Every time you turn, especially from face down to face up, there's no way to get rid of that. Unless you really lift up the avatar. Which I might have to. So at that point, I'm going to go to about here. What was it, 180? Yep. 180 is actually going to be literally all the way up. So at this point, he's turned all the way. So that means he will be able to hold his leg all the way. Now, I've done this before. I've done this cell before.
That's good.
I've actually learned from it. Go bend that forward a bit. Just slightly over so that way it transitions well. So you can see him holding the knee this time. Head's not going to go too crazy.
It actually sets them up to do the ground cell.
Mm-hmm. And actually, I'm going to take off the IKs off the hip, see if that helps. Which it does. But let me move this out. Let me move these two out a bit. See if I can make it look smooth. So right now it looks a little bit rugged to me, at least. There we go. That smoothed it out.
Falcon.
Yeah.
If you're going to have the guy move, you're going to have to lift the right foot to step over their foot.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, like I said before, that's to have when the avatar goes back into noob stance. That's actually the buffer.
Oh, I was just pointing that out.
Yeah, I got you. So now at this point, I can actually start the actual cell for this. So I'm actually going to keep the spine break on, but for the hip, I am actually going to do this. The hip is actually going to keep the IK, but everything else is actually going to you're gonna see him back out a little bit and like turn just slightly. Actually, you know what? Nah. I've done that too many times. I don't like that animation. I don't like how people sell like that. That looks like they're just rocking back and forth. You know, this one I might actually do the same thing. But it could be too much. So let's see. Right there, just gonna keep it out so that way you can actually see. That's what I'll do. Yep. Put the IK in, go to frame 110. Actually start. So actually showing like he's actually in pain at this point. It'll be very slightly. It's just gonna be slight movements, but it'll still be able to repeat. Which I'm gonna take up that case for that one. And go back to about 150. This one I'm gonna keep going. So let's bring that down a bit. I don't like that. I might have to do it like this then. Okay, I see what I'm supposed to do. Instead, let's put it like right there. That will be it. Let's go like this. I think this would be better. Alright, let's see if this works. That's much better, at least for me. So, going to 190. This will be the face. That'll be the face-up version. Oof, that turn was quick. Hold up. They go back to 200. Drag that over. Yeah, that looks better. Alright, and that will be the face up Big Knee Smash. So face up O. Now, since I'm already here, and let me actually save that as face up. Hmm. Put that even closer then. Ew. There you go. And this one is the small one. Very quick, but very stumpy. All I did was just took out a couple of frames and then boom, it's done.
I like that at the end of that, his leg is like almost eaten by the ground.
What?
The right leg, watch. Okay.
Yeah.
You just stopped it earlier when his leg was like embedded into the ground.
Actually, for this one, I might actually go to slightly mod it just a bit. So that way you can see he doesn't go up too much.
So messy. You're so messy. You're so messy.
Go move in one frame. Actually, go move this out one frame also.
Got the bits of all of them with me. Put them somewhere. Take it like that.
I'll modify this a bit also. So that way.
Didn't leave them? You gonna get rid of them? What can I do with them? Please tell me I didn't get rid of them. Please tell me I didn't get rid of them. Lord, thank you, I don't have to. Woo. I thought I got rid of these motherfuckers. I'm glad I still have them. Yes. Big
I
boy.
actually go put more of a lift in.
This is for later.
So that's a quick
You guys do not
lift.
eat this now. This is for later. You guys will have this later.
So
tonight
go
for
back
dinner.
to 200. Move that about 3 frames. There you go. Just enough to lift him up and just set his knee down. And this will be just a regular key smash, knee slam. Knee slam X. 9-2. Knee slam face up. Oh. Let's see this as the slow version. You open up the regular one that I did for face down and do the same thing, just add the keyframes. Keyframe stop by about there. So tree, one arm's left arm. Keyframe that, keyframe that. Keep that, so that gets rid of. That's when I start speeding up this again, just a bit. There we go. This will be at 139. So this would be knee slam face up, face down. Oh. And just in case that's not the right one, we'll go to 79, frame 79, and export the actual text for this one, the backup. Alright, and that's how you make a knee smash.
Slam! You made it so far! You made it so far! Until
Hey, at least
you
he made it right.
Yeah. Alright then, so, any questions about that?
God, I hate you.
When's it coming out?
When's it coming out? It'll come out probably today as a freebie.
God, I hate you. You made it all the way to the end.
So now, I get
It's my birthday all over again.
to get the Gyaza going so I can put this in.
Both versions.
Both. I'm only putting one version of the Gyaza. Let me actually get it when it's actually going. Oh. Alrighty, that took a while.
I hate you so much.
So, anyway. What do you guys thought about that? Good, yay, nay?
Looks awesome.
Alright.
Very informative.
Yeah.
Makes me realize I just don't have the patience for animation.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience, and I'm too picky. I'd be tweaking and tweaking and tweaking and tweaking.
Yeah, that's it. You saw me, and that was me actually going at it.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to end the recording.